Hello guys, good morning, happy Sunday. Welcome back to another vlog. We are waking up this morning at the Crosby Hotel in Stillwater. We are just about to head out to get a coffee. I know. I just really want one today, so we're gonna go grab a coffee. We'll see how it goes. We're gonna go get a nice breakfast. We're in Stillwater because we celebrated the kind of like annual Chirosport get together. We call it our Christmas party. It's not really a Christmas party. It's more just like an opportunity for all of us to get together. So we went to an escape room last night. We went to dinner. We walked around the shops. We had such a lovely evening. And so we turned it into a little staycation, which is so nice. And we're gonna go, like I said, and get some breakfast. We also wanna work on our house a little bit, potentially today, maybe tomorrow. So I'm gonna take you guys along for that as well. A little, weekend in the life, a little Sunday in the life. You guys loved the last Sunday in my life, so take you along. We also, the reason that I was like, oh, I need to start this vlog right now is because me and Jake went to candy stores, two candy stores last night, and we got a bunch of candy, so we need to do a haul for you guys. Also, something so special, the last time me and Jake came to Stillwater is when we decided that we were going to buy a house. So it feels very special to us. If you live in the Minneapolis area, Stillwater is one of the best places for a little staycation. The Crosby is stunning. I cannot believe how beautiful this hotel is. The pillows, not the best, but that's my only con. So anyways, we're gonna head out. It is currently negative 11 degrees outside. Minnesota's not playing with the winter weather. So we're bundled up. We're gonna go grab some breakfast.
Always by your side. I'll be always by your side. Through shifting skies and endless miles. I walk with you through every
Here is where we're grabbing coffee. The daily grind.
listen up, I gotta say. It's super important, we all need a place where we can just check in, kick back, unwind.
Now it's time for Jake to get his coffee. I don't know if you guys know this about Jake, but he's obsessed with Red Bull.
No pink Red Bull
Just
yet.
the original. While Jake buys his Red Bull, I just wanted to tell you guys that it is so cold outside that when you come inside, you feel like you're on fire. Like my hands from like holding my coffee and coming in hurt. So if you live somewhere where it's warm, I'm jealous. Breakfast is here. I got the French toast. I've kind of been on a little bit of a French toast kick. I was tempted to get the breakfast that we always eat at home, but I decided to switch it up. I also got some hash browns and some bacon because I love both of these, and I did not ask for my bacon crispy because if you know, you know. Jake got, what did you get? Ham and cheese?
Ham, cheese, and mushroom omelet.
Jake loves mushrooms. Some hash
Like he
browns.
put one mushroom on it just to let me know.
So you know. And then he got a pancake. Yum. We made it home from Stillwater. We're tired. It's only 11 a.m., but it feels like it's been a whole day. We're gonna do a little candy haul for you because we really stocked up. So one of the places we went was Candyland. The only thing left in this bag is a little dark chocolate peppermint patty. Because they have like the fudge, little stations, like the chocolate stations. I also got a dark chocolate and white chocolate Oreo.
Is what's left in my fudge.
That was just like
To
a
be
regular.
fair, it's just like a little stick.
Yeah. Was it
Yeah,
good?
just chocolate fudge. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's not as good as like the State Fair fudge.
What's in here? Oh, these are chocolate covered gummy bears because Remy always talks about how good these are. So I wanted to try them.
Scary.
And then this, oh my gosh.
That's my bag.
This is heavy. This is like,
It was 1.1 pounds.
wow. This is like an assortment of all sorts of goods.
I literally said like a row of all the gummies, and I just like all of them, just do a scoop.
Yeah.
And then there's sour worms, there's like the frogs, there's turtles, Swedish fish, pizza slices, gummy
Are
pizza
those good?
slices. No.
Oh, really? What's it taste like?
Like the bun of the Krabby Patties,
Oh,
but
that
just
texture.
the bun.
Ew. The bun is the worst part of
But
it.
it's that texture, but it's like more gummy flavored. I don't know.
You love
the
those.
Coca-Cola gummies. What are these called? Not jujubes, the like bigger ones. Juju fruits. Lego brick candies. Sour.
Oh, those balls.
The sour balls. And a couple orange slices.
Oh, your dad loves those.
Yeah.
And they got these lemon head ropes.
Kind of scary because they taste like lemon heads.
Yeah, wow. The smell is
And
we went to another place. This was Grandpa Joe's.
Grandpa Joe's candy shop.
Look, you're in the way. Okay, so the first time we went in, you got a marshmallow. You already ate that. And they had these, which is what we went for. Because these are so good. We got these in New York. We just finished them in the car the other day. So we bought, they had 6 available. We bought 5. We left 1 for someone else. Okay. And then after we finished dinner, we went back and we bought the last one. And then we also got 2 more packs of these cream savers because these are so good. I love these.
And curly whirlies.
Yeah, those are so good. What would you say they taste like?
It's like a Rolo,
Yes, that's what it was.
but it's like chocolate, and then there's like caramel swirled on it, and it tastes like a Rolo.
Yeah, but it's so good. So we got some of these because we got these in our stocking, if you remember that.
What's cool is these actually have the like European.
Yeah.
Let me see where these are from exactly. The UK. Yeah, because it's Cadbury UK, and then there's the UK expiration stamp.
And then Jake got a little Krabby Patty. Oh, and gummy sushi.
That looks like it melted
But
in
one
my
got
car.
melted. These are really good. This one, it's like a sour belt around a marshmallow. So good. We've had that before, but that's our haul. We need to do some painting today. Are we still down to do that?
Yeah.
I don't really want to do it, but I think it will be nice to get it off of our to-do list because we did just plan our housewarming party, which is really exciting. And I feel like we are motivated to get a couple things done before our housewarming party. So something I didn't tell you guys in the vlog, when I painted the primary bathroom without Jake, I used the sample paint, as you guys saw, because I was like, oh, I'm just doing little touch-ups here and there. Well, it turns out the sample paint was semi-gloss and the paint that Jake used was satin. So we kind of have to repaint the whole bathroom, which is really frustrating. And I was so sad that day when I realized it. I literally almost started crying. And then the bookshelves weren't working and it was a whole thing, but we're gonna repaint. We had to have that wall repaired anyways, so it's really not that big of a deal. And then we have a couple spots throughout our house, like we just hung curtains, which I'll show you guys. And when we took down the blinds that they had, there's huge holes in our walls from that. So we're gonna patch those, do some white touch-ups. There's also like some nicks on our stairwell from moving stuff up and down, like furniture up and down. So we'll patch that up. Even like that trim right there, like right above the trim, like that could use a little touch-up. So we'll just do little touch-ups so that it's feeling fresh, and then we can make a game plan of like, what do we want to get done before our housewarming party, and what are we gonna wait on. So that's gonna be our Sunday painting. What do you want to start with?
We should probably patch stuff. We can patch. Did you mention that the curtains are hung now?
Yeah, I did. I haven't
Yeah,
showed
we have
them
to
yet
patch
though.
A bunch of holes.
So start with patching that,
Might as well get
because that's gonna need like
a layer.
25 layers. Okay. Here are the curtains. It's kind of hard to tell in this lighting because it is daytime out, so the window's a little bit overexposed, but they look so good. It has completely changed our space. We did the same curtains on all of the windows. Let me step back so you can see. Our living room just looks so much bigger and grander with these hung. And then we also did the same thing to these over here. They had like kind of those apartment blinds right here, so we were really excited to take those down. But with taking those down, we were left with a huge hole in the wall. So we're gonna patch that today, repaint. And then eventually we will get these hemmed, of course, but we had to get them a little bit longer so that we could hang the rods nice and high. And we did do those same black rounded rods that we did in our primary bedroom. And they look so beautiful. And what's so crazy is this material right here that the curtains are is the exact same material, color, everything as our couch. So it really ties in our couch because our living room furniture is a little bit dark and the couch was looking a little bit out of place. But now with the curtains, our couch looks so perfect. And what's crazy is our dining room chairs are also the same material. So it's kind of all starting to flow together, which is really, really nice. It brought some nice light, airy feel to the downstairs. Oh, we also got this pot for our fiddle, which is really nice. We've been wanting to get a nice pot, but pots can be so expensive. We found this one on Amazon and it was a really good price. We currently just have the white pot for that plant just sitting in there because if we replanted it right now, it would probably die because our fiddle's not doing super hot right now because of having it in Jake's office when we had our Christmas tree down here. So hopefully that will come back to life.
Good job. It's the garter one.
If you hear that, it is. He's ready for a fresh one. That's a good boy. That's a good boy. Did you miss us while we were gone? Here's an example of the spot in our stairway. It's not awful, but it's definitely something we couldn't just paint over. And I've already magic erased these and tried to get these marks off because some of them do come off with just a magic eraser. This is obviously a divot in the wall, so that's not gonna come off with a magic eraser, unfortunately. So we've had it on our to-do to patch these up. And now that we hung the curtains, we might as well just get to it. I also learned to make this a lot thicker than you think because you can just sand it off. So I'm making it nice and thick. Might as well do a little bit here too. That's a little divot too. And there's actually a few little parts where Miko dug his nails in, so we're gonna try and patch those up as well. This spot is actually probably the worst. He dug his nails in when we first moved in. So I'm gonna do another layer of this and then we can repaint this spot. And then while we're at it, there's one little tiny ding by my vanity, so I might as well patch that up. That's from like moving a hair tool or something like that. primary bathroom. That was much quicker than I thought it would be, which makes me feel really good. We're gonna let that dry and then make sure there aren't any other little spots that we need to get. While that dries and while the patching stuff dries, I'm gonna do a quick clean of this bathroom. I feel like we need to do the floors, wipe down some things. Just like quick, it will take me like 10 minutes, but I might as well do something productive while I wait. Change of plans. Before I do a deep clean in here, we are going to see if we want to use these little mirror hooks, because we kind of chatted about how getting a new mirror would just be like kind of crazy expensive. So I found these on Amazon. I think these were about $20, and they can hold the mirror instead of the silver hooks that we have on the mirror right now. So we're gonna have Jake come in and see if he likes these and if we should switch to this. Primary bathroom is done. All of the walls are now satin. We painted this chunk that our builder fixed. I did a nice deep clean on everything when we put it back. I cleaned the mirrors, the sinks, the faucets, wiped down everything, like even my happy light. Looks so fresh and clean in here. We did a nice clean on the floors too. We have our art hung up over here. It's looking so beautiful. Jake does want to do just a little bead of silicone, like around the shower, just to kind of make it look super perfect and beautiful. So we'll show you when he does that. But he wants to wait until the paint is like super, super dry to do that. We also had a little bit of an issue hanging this mirror, so we had to patch a hole. So now we're waiting for that patching to dry. We'll sand that, and then we'll do another coat of the paint on that just for the touch up. And then we'll be able to hang the mirror up. But these look really, really good. They just have no room for air, so they have to be exactly perfect. We're very happy with how they look, but this is just taking a little bit longer than we thought. So once the mirror's up, then I can do a nice quick deep clean in here. And then this bathroom will be fully done. And on that note, I did finally pick a foaming soap dispenser. I went back to that plain, kind of like creamy white one from Amazon. It's not my favorite, but it definitely does a job. I'll show you guys how it looks once I do a nice deep clean in here. And once it's not a construction zone in here. All right, we're back to it. We're sanding the patching kit. And then we're gonna paint in here. A little touch-up paint. Is it smooth?
Yeah.
Amazing. All right, we'll clean that off and then we'll paint. The good news is we can use the sample paint, and this isn't going to create more work.
Does it need to be stirred? Is it scary?
No. I'm thinking I can just... Oh god, this brush is big.
Maybe be careful with your gray...
I already painted the bathroom with my gray outfit on.
Oh, I didn't even realize. It's like one of your favorites at the moment.
It is my favorite outfit, actually. I finally get to paint this bathroom.
You could do that little square too, the white one.
No,
Just for fun. Me behind the mirror, but...
There's a nail pop right here. Oh no, that's the... Yeah, that is a nail pop.
Yeah, it is.
I thought we would be able to finish this project, but we're gonna have to wait for this to dry and then we can finish this project, deep clean this bathroom, and be done for the day. We are now going to take a little intermission and go to Target. We both have the desire to get a little something to keep us off of our phone, keep us off of like watching the show. And I've really been wanting to get back into like coloring. Do you guys remember when the adult coloring books, I feel like it was during 2020 where everyone was kind of getting into that again. I've just really been desiring something like that because like when we made the vision boards, it was so relaxing and so soothing and just so nice to be off of my phone and be creative. And so I've really been wanting to get an adult coloring book, and Jake really wants to actually get some Legos because he just built some shelves in his office. They look so good. I should actually have him show you guys the shelves because they look so good. And now he has a place to store things that, you know, make him happy and are hobbies of his. So we're gonna take a little trip. We're gonna go to Target. We're gonna grab a couple of things. And then I think that's where we're gonna pause the house projects for today. And then we'll finish the white paint tomorrow because we're both really tired. And I do think that the patching above the sliding glass door in our kitchen is gonna need like 2 or 3 coats and probably gonna have to dry overnight. We will see where the rest of the day takes us, but we're gonna go to Target and get some fun things.
Shelf. It's 3 IKEA bullies or billies, whatever they're called. And then you can like buy a 3-pack and you save like $5. That's just what I did. And then I actually screwed them together. Like in the little holes here, just to kind of keep them from moving apart. And I don't know, just felt a little more finished, especially because these walls feel like they're not like perfectly plumb. So the shelves like, it's flush here, flush there, and not here. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I could put a piece of trim, or honestly, like it's not.
No, I would just leave it. No one's gonna notice.
Like it's fine. And then one other thing to note, if you come over here, I actually had to cut. So there's like this thingy here to go around trim, but that's like skinny trim. So I actually had to cut this so that it fit. Oh. And then you can tell the wall's also not perfectly plumb.
Yeah.
Because if I push it all the way against the wall, then it like, I don't know.
Teeters a little bit.
And then one more fun thing. I bought 2 of these smart plugs. So if I go into HomeKit, boop. Nice. Yeah, I have a little.
Is it switch. It's just the one color?
Yeah, because it's not a smart bulb. It's just a normal bulb.
Got it.
So this just power on and off.
And this little lamp is from Target. We just got this. And it kind of matches the vibe that Jake has going on in here. I don't know if I've ever even showed this in the vlog, but we got this. I talked about this in my like 2024 recap. This is the painting that we got in Barcelona. And this color, this blue color here, is the inspo for Jake's office. He wants to paint either one of the walls or some of the walls that fun blue color. And we were able to find him a lamp that almost perfectly matches. So that's really fun. Now he needs to get some things to put on the shelves, hence the Target trip.
I feel like this is too much.
He doesn't really love this, so he wants to redo these boxes.
I had my Louis Vuitton hoarding boxes.
Jake loves designer goods, as we learned in the What I Got Everybody for Christmas.
What I want all of these to be
Hermes.
Those boxes.
Oh my goodness.
But I'll probably consolidate all that into like one shelf, and then I need more books and decor art. And then
I think you should do a combo of decor and books.
Yeah. I thought I had more guides too, like my city guides, but apparently not. And then my Louis Vuitton like photography books are out there.
Yeah, we could, if you don't want them in here, you could put them in.
No, I think they look really good out there.
Okay.
So, I don't know, I'll have to figure it out, and I wouldn't mind having like maybe a couple framed pictures or something.
Yeah, that would look nice.
So, and then I think that's like enough for in here. I want a plant over there.
We have a plant at my work that we're going to bring home because it doesn't fit in my room anymore. So we're going to try that in here and see if it works.
And then I'm trying to figure if this wall or maybe that wall would look good in blue. It's like an accent wall, and then it's still bright in here because there's like white everywhere. So I don't know, the hard thing is like unless you paint the whole wall, you don't know if it...
I know. But it would be cool also to paint these the blue.
True, but then I worry it'd be such a mess, and like what if it like bleeds onto the carpet, and like I don't want to like
Oh, well, you would have to take them out of here.
Yeah, but I mean, like, after I paint them, if I put them in here, like, I don't know.
Oh.
And then,
Maybe this wall would be best.
But I think if we did that wall, it'd be too much.
You do?
I do.
Why?
I don't know. I just feel like the paintings plus the wall.
Oh, I think it would look good.
So, that's something to think of.
Yeah, we'll see.
Maybe once this is, like, more full and I have a plant and stuff, maybe I, like, won't feel like it needs anything.
We also need to get curtains in here, too.
True.
So the cats are obsessed with us. Look, we have one. Luca's laying on an extension cord right now.
I forgot.
Oh my goodness, what are you doing? There you go. Relax. All right. To Target we go. Made it to Target. Oh my gosh, shorts in this weather is crazy. It's so cold. We've made it to the Legos. This is Jake's selection. This is a Porsche 911. How many pieces is this one?
You can build the Targa or the Turbo.
What one will you do?
That's really tough. Probably the Turbo.
Okay. How many pieces are we looking at?
1458.
18 plus.
Yeah, this is
Wow.
adult Legos.
What does this number mean?
I think that's like the stock number.
Oh, okay.
It would be fun to do like all the cities we've gone to.
That would be fun.
Because they have a New York, a Paris, a Tokyo. I think they have a London one.
That would be really fun.
Look how fun the Paris one is.
It is fun. You could get that.
Yeah, but it's kind of small. It's only 650 pieces.
Jake also likes this
Should I
one
do this
too.
one? This is the other one I would want. 25 pieces. I feel like it's not as complicated though.
I personally
this is
like the
complicated.
Porsche one better. I feel like that also is more like your personality. And that would look really cool on your shelves. But either of them.
I must ask for this for Christmas. I was like, yeah, I really don't like this that much. Screw it, I'll just get it.
Okay. We made it to the coloring books. There's quite a bit of choices. There's lots of kids ones. We'll see if I can find one that I'm interested in. Here's my haul. We have a 2-hole pencil sharpener. I'm getting these because I love a skinny tip marker. And this is 100 colors, which is like an insane amount of colors. So we have that. And then they didn't have a ton of coloring books. So I got this Taylor Swift one. It's cute. It has pictures of her. It also has other pictures. So this is what I'll start with. I'll maybe look on Amazon, and then I also got these 100 colored pencils. That way if I want to do colored pencils or markers, I have options. Little update, I found one more coloring book, and this one is so cool because it's different cities. So I thought that would just be fun because you know that I love traveling. So I could do cities that I've been to. And then we also saw this new Poppy when we were at the checkout, cream soda. Jake loves cream soda, so this will be all him, but fun. I've never seen this or even this color can. Now we're going home. Several days. The last time that I vlogged for you guys was Sunday, and it is currently Wednesday. I planned to finish this vlog on Monday for you guys. We were going to finish up our house projects. We were going to have a nice dinner party with our parents, and life took a bit of a turn. If you follow me on Instagram, you have seen a little bit about it, but Luca was hospitalized and he went to the emergency room, which was very scary, and he is home now. That is what you were hearing in the background as he was just looking out the window. He is with us now, but oh my goodness, was it a very scary couple of days. So I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about what happened. Again, if you follow me on Instagram, you've heard most of this, but I want to share this mostly because I kind of feel like healthcare in general is very intimidating. It's very scary to know what to do, what not to do. It's so expensive, and we almost spent $11,000 at a vet that I am so grateful that we chose to leave. So let me backtrack just a little bit. Miko wants to come in. Okay, I swapped cats. I have Miko here with me now and Luca left. So let me backtrack to Monday morning. So around 5:30 in the morning, Luca woke us up and he was gagging, he was drooling, he was licking the roof of his mouth. His whole chin and his paws were soaked, and I brought him into the bathroom, turned on the light, and it seemed like he had something stuck in his throat. And so we tried to open up his mouth, look in there. He would not let us look in there. And so we did a little once around of our entire house, and we found 5 piles of throw up. We found 3 that looked like food, and then 2 that were just liquid water. Now, the throw up for us isn't super concerning because Luca is an animal that does throw up kind of often. He gets really stressed, he gets really anxious, he eats his food really fast. He has kind of a sensitive stomach. So the throw up wasn't super concerning to us. It was more the gagging and the licking and the drool and just his demeanor. Something about him just wasn't right. So we waited about 30 minutes and he was still acting that way. And so I decided to call an emergency vet and just kind of ask them what their thoughts were. Now, that vet that I called was incredible. They were so kind. They were talking me through everything. They basically explained, like, it doesn't sound like it's an emergency. If you want to bring him in, you can. If you want to just monitor him at home, you can. Kind of told me some of the risks. One of the biggest risks was if something is in his throat, he could stop breathing, and then it would be like an emergency. And so we waited about 30 more minutes. He continued with that licking and that clicking. And so we decided to bring him in to that emergency vet that I had called. Now, around that time, it was probably like 7:30-ish, and they immediately took him from us. They did his vitals, made sure he was stable, and then we waited in a room. And I actually asked if they could bring him back to us because he is a very stressed out cat. He does not like to be separated, and so we had him in the room with us. And the first vet, they were like in between shifts. So the first vet that came in recommended that we do a set of x-rays because he was presenting as if he had swallowed a foreign object. And so she stepped out. Another person came in to give us the estimate for how much the x-rays would cost. Now, that is a really icky part of the emergency situation with the pet, is it's always like, can you afford this? Can you afford this? Can you pay this? Can you pay this? And while I understand, it just feels really uncomfortable as the owner to be like, okay, here's how much it's going to cost. Do you want to do it? So anyways, the person came in to give us the quotes, and they had 2 quotes, which immediately set off red flag bells for me because the first quote was just for the exam and the x-rays, which was $800. And then the second quote was for the exam, x-rays, and blood work. And now me and Jake had just spent like 15 minutes talking to the vet about what she thought might be wrong. She never recommended blood work to us. And so I said to the person that brought the quote in, I was like, I think we'll just do the x-ray because the vet didn't recommend any sort of blood work. We decided to do the x-ray. The x-ray came back and a new vet had started. So that first vet went home for the day. The second vet came in. He read us the x-rays. He showed us the x-rays, and Luca's colon was filled with gas and his bowels were filled with stool. So he was very, very constipated. And then there was something in his stomach, but they couldn't exactly tell if it was food that wasn't digested yet or if it was a foreign object in his stomach. And so what he said was there was a couple options. His main option was he could do an ultrasound of his stomach, but he said that's not always super helpful to determine what's in the stomach. And so he said that what he would recommend is hospitalizing Luca for 4 hours, giving him an IV, and then seeing if he is constipated, if that will move down his digestive tract, and maybe we can see what's in his stomach a little bit better, or maybe what's ever in his stomach will go down his intestines. And then after 4 hours, he recommended an abdominal exploratory surgery. Now that's when I started asking a little bit of questions because I have no idea what an abdominal exploratory surgery is like for an animal. And so this vet basically described to me that they would make a 4-inch incision in his abdomen and essentially just explore, look around at his stomach, look around at his intestines. If they can determine, oh, there is something in his stomach, they would open up his stomach, they would take it out. He said they might have to remove some of his intestines or his bowels, just depending on what it is. Of course, he couldn't really give us like a clear, like, this is exactly what I would do, because it would be exploring the area and seeing what is in there. I was a little bit freaked out by that. And by a little bit, I mean I was really freaked out by that, because that seems like an extremely invasive surgery. He explained to them that recovery would be 2 weeks and that there was a 10% chance that his incision would reopen and he would need a second surgery. There was also a 10% risk of fluid leaking into his intestines and his organs and causing life-threatening infections. And one thing about Luca is he loves to jump, he loves to go up high, he's very active, and I knew that there was absolutely no way for 2 weeks I could keep him relaxing and resting unless he was medicated. And so I was a little bit concerned about that, but was also kind of like, if that's what the vet is recommending, I think that's what we have to do. And so he ended up leaving the room. The person came back in with the quotes. The quote for keeping Luca for 6 hours and hospitalizing him was $3,500. The quote for the surgery was $7,000. So we're looking at if we have to do both of those, right? Like, an insane amount of money. We've also already paid $815. And what really got alarm bells going off in my head is, one, it felt like the doctor, even though he wanted to try the 6 hours, it felt like he was really pushing to do the exploratory surgery. The second thing is, a couple years ago when we lived in Texas, Luca got into Lily's and he had to be hospitalized for 3 days. And it was a very intensive hospitalization. He was monitored 24 hours a day. He had his blood drawn multiple times a day, making sure that his kidneys were doing okay. And that was $3,000. And so the idea of $3,500 for 6 hours really freaked me out, because what if he needed another 6 hours, or what if after the surgery he needed another 6 hours? And so I started calling around to other vets and just started asking them just quick questions like, how much is a set of x-rays? And we paid $815 for the x-rays. Another vet said that their x-rays were $220. And I just started asking them, like, how much is it to hospitalize the pet? And I found a vet that had extremely good reviews and their prices were a lot better. And so we actually chose to take Luca to that vet. And we kind of went back and forth, like, should we take him? Should we not? What if it's a bad idea to take him and go somewhere else? But my rationale with that was, if he does need an extremely invasive surgery like this, I want to be told that by more than one doctor, and I want to be sure that that's what's best for him and his care. I mean, as a healthcare provider, I know how traumatizing surgery is for the body and the scar tissue and all of the muscles in that area. And I don't know, I just got a little bit worried about his recovery and healing. On top of the financial side of that, that is such an extreme amount of money. We ended up taking him to a second vet. We had the vet that we were at call, give all of the, information of what they found, the x-rays, everything like that. And we made it to the second vet, and thankfully we were put into a room. And what's so interesting is, from that first vet to the second vet, Luca took like such a turn. He was so quiet. He was so lethargic. He would not let us really pet him or touch him. He was in a lot of pain. You could tell when they would palpate him, he was just so uncomfortable. And he kept doing his licking and his clicking. And by this point, it's about 12 o'clock. And we had about a 4-hour wait to see one of the providers at this new clinic, which is really hard to watch your pet be in pain and sick and sad for that many hours and just be sitting in a room with literally just a bench. But at the same time, I was so grateful, because if they were to see us right away, that's because it's an emergent, critical situation. So we were at least reassuring ourselves of that at least he's stable enough where they're not rushing to see him. And in the meantime of all of this, as I was waiting for the second doctor, is I called one of my patients who's actually an emergency vet, and I spoke with them at lengths about what the first doctor told us, what I was experiencing, what we were seeing with Luca, and they were so helpful and so reassuring and just kind of explained the process, questions to ask, you know, what to look for in the vet and all of that, which was so helpful because it is so hard as a patient or as a owner to an animal to know what is right, what is wrong, how much should this cost, what should we be doing, how aggressive do we need to be. It's so hard, and you're trusting these providers that you've never met ever before, right? Because not going to the emergency vet super often, so when we do go, it's like I've never met these people before and I have no idea if they're, you know, a good provider, because unfortunately there's a lot of providers that aren't good providers. So it was really, really helpful to talk to them about everything. Around, I don't know, maybe like 1 o'clock, the doctor ended up coming in, doing an exam on Luca, and she actually had a much better plan. So her first plan was to give him an anti-nausea medication, which she said that with this medication, no matter what he's sick with, he will not be able to throw up. That is how effective it is. The only way he would still be able to throw up is if he had a foreign object in his stomach or somewhere in his digestive tract. And so she said, let's start there. That will give us 2 to 3 hours to determine if he's still throwing up. And she wanted to hospitalize him for 48 hours on an IV drip to see if we couldn't get the constipation to move or if the object would come out itself, and then re-x-ray and monitor him. And that just felt much better to me. She said that surgery was still a possibility. It still could happen. That's not the wrong thing to do when you're suspecting a foreign object. However, she wanted to try a couple other things first. We said goodbye to him. We gave him to her and she took him back. One thing with that is then the person came in and gave us the quote, and for 48 hours of hospitalization, it was $1,100. That felt much more comfortable because then he would be watched for 2 days, make sure everything's okay, and then if we do decide surgery is necessary, we have a lot of evidence that that's what's best for him and his care. So we left him with her, and then around maybe 3 or 4, we got a little bit of information that he was doing well, his IV was going well, he was very lethargic still, just resting, and then later on in the evening, we got a call that he had eaten, he had drank, he was feeling a lot better, and they ended up finding a piece of plastic in his kennel. Now, one thing about Luca is he is very prone to chewing on plastic. He will run with it. He will hide under the bed with it. That is why we keep nothing on our counters, nothing out in the open. Everything is always clean and polished at all times. It's because of him, because he will chew things. He will try and swallow them. If we're not home, how are we supposed to know? The technician that called me said she would bring it to the doctor's attention in the morning. The next morning, which was Tuesday morning, I got a call from the doctor that he was howling, he was talking, he was jumping up on his kennel, he was wanting attention, he was begging for food, he was eating, he was drinking, everything. And she thinks that that piece of plastic is what was causing all of the issues that he was having. So we're unsure if the plastic was in his stomach and it just came up, if it was in his throat and it came up. Regardless, he had gotten into a piece of plastic, he had swallowed it, and it was causing a lot of very scary symptoms. We ended up being able to pick him up yesterday around 5 o'clock, and he was so sad when he got home. We took him out of his carrier, and his paw that had the IV was so swollen and he could barely walk on it, which was super scary. So we of course called the vet right away, asked them about it. The doctor that he had seen was out of the clinic, and so we said, you know what, we'll watch it all night. The last thing I want to do is bring him back there. Just feel like it's probably very scary as an animal to be in a kennel and in a place that you're not comfortable or familiar with. And so we just watched it overnight. He was very tired, very withdrawn, very antisocial last night, but when we woke up this morning, his paw was back to normal. He's running around, jumping off the bed, going up and down the stairs. He's talking. He was chewing on plastic this morning. Twice I caught him in our guest bathroom on the shower curtain liner. So that door is now closed. He cannot get in there. I was joking with Jake. I'm like, it would be so nice if he could mentally comprehend that the reason he went to the doctor is because he chewed on plastic, but that's just not how it works with pets. He is in la la land. He has no idea that that is why he went to the emergency room. So anyways, that is what we've been up to. I've been skipping the gym and canceling as many things as I can just to be home as much as possible. We're spending as much time with him as we can. We also are going to be switching up his diet and adding in a little bit of wet food to hopefully help with the constipation, because we're unsure if the constipation is just his normal or is he constipated because he swallowed something and wasn't feeling super good. We don't really know. So we set up a camera in the litter box room so that we can keep track of who's going to the bathroom, because that was a big question that we were getting, like, when's the last time he went to the bathroom? And it's so hard with 2 cats, like we just don't know when the last time they went. So we have a little camera set up in our litter box area so that we can watch and see who's going, when they're going, how often, all of that, which will be really helpful. And we'll just keep a little extra eye on Luca over the next couple days, make sure he's doing well. But I wanted to share this mostly just so you could get a little insight of like what life has been like the past couple of days, but also to trust your gut and don't be afraid of getting a second opinion. I cannot imagine what it would be like if we just stayed at that first vet and they ended up doing a super major, intensive, invasive surgery on Luca. The thing is too, if that plastic was in his throat, they could have done that entire surgery and not even found the plastic. I think just remember to trust your gut. Remember to ask questions. Remember if something feels off with a healthcare provider, regardless of what the situation is, it's okay to get a second opinion. It's okay to leave. That is my update. I'm so grateful that Luca is doing so well and that he didn't have to have a super major surgery. But with all of that, on Monday while he was at the emergency room, we did finish all of the house projects. So the paint is done, the mirror is hung, everything is done. So you guys will maybe see that in the next vlog, but just know everything got done. We were stressed and anxious and we just focused on finishing the house, cleaning the house, laundry, just random stuff. I washed the bedding in here. I feel like we were just doing anything we could to keep ourselves busy and occupied, and sleeping without him here was so weird. I will say it was really nice to have Miko to keep us company, because when Luca was in the emergency room a few years ago, it was heartbreaking to be home without him. So Miko definitely made it a little bit easier and a little bit nicer because he kept us company, but we're so grateful to be a nice, complete family. Also, I just wanted to say thank you so much for all of the sweet messages and sharing your stories about your pet and your vet experience. It really does mean the world to me. As much as I'm sharing my life with you guys, I love having the community aspect and learning more about you and your families and connecting with you. So thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to send me your loving, kind, sweet, encouraging messages. It means the absolute world to me. Hopefully, please, no more pets going to the doctor, being sick, no more ER visits, because we've had quite a few of those over the past couple of months. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys enjoyed me being a little bit more vulnerable and sharing what is going on in my life. I really hope to do that more as the year continues. And I will see you guys in the next video.
I'll be
Bye,
always
guys.
by your side.